left school, I was working.
Right.
The last year I was at school, I got a hit on the head. I was playing a baseball match against one of the other schools, and I got a ball on the head.
Oh dear.
And they said I had a clot of blood from the brain or something or other, which was very unfortunate because I had to miss school for some months there while this was healed. I don't know what they did about it in those days. So that was my last year, but I was due to go to university next year to do journalism, but that was out. And of course, but by that stage we all knew the war was coming. Right. So they said, well, okay, go and do a business course or do something or learn typing or something, because this will be handy to you when you do. I still thought I'd get back to the uni afterwards. Yeah. And so I went and did that, and then the pressure on employment was just terrific. People would be queuing outside the business place. When does this one graduate and all the rest? I did my year then, and then I went to Swinburne Technical College. Right. In the office there, and I was there until the war broke out. I think I only worked for 3 or 4 years.
So you were doing typing work, is that right?
I was typing. I was secretary to the headmaster of the junior boys' school then. Right. I used to love that. I really, really loved that time. I was quite happy. And by that time, of course, I was going out quite a lot.
Yes.
We had a different setup to your setup. We used to go, well, you did to a certain extent, because of your friends. I mean, we'd go out in a party, you know, and you dance with everybody in the party. Yeah. But go home with whoever asked you, or you danced with everybody, you took it in turns, you went right around the thing, and that's a lot of fun. And you go out with a different person, every week. I mean, not you still see the other one, but you go out with a different one. It was a much more, fun time, I suppose. And added to the fact that there was no pill in our days, so therefore you knew you had to draw a line, otherwise you would be in trouble. Yeah. And to have a baby out of wedlock was really, that would ruin your life for the rest of your life. Yeah. So therefore you never really got completely and utterly close to one person until you decided to get married. Yeah.
So it sounds like you had quite a lot of fun in those times.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Wild
I had a lot of boyfriends. But I suppose, I don't know why, but I used to get asked out a lot. That was a fun time.
So you were working at Swinburne?
I was working at Swinburne, yes. That was a big, yes, really, was very, very in love then with the chap who was the secretary. And, yes, I really, and we had a romance going there for years. And I really should have married him, I think, but I don't know.
So it
didn't work out that way.
What happened?
I can't remember exactly what happened. Anyway, yes, then silly grandpa, a silly grandpa, he came into the picture, and I got mixed up with him because he was always in, he had a fight with his family, and he was sent over here. Now, although I'm not a Harrison, we're related, and they got married, and his uncle married my aunt. No, my mother's cousin, who was really kind of like an aunt.
Yeah.
And she wrote over to me. I used to spend a lot of it. See, I had Tasmanian boyfriends and Victorian boyfriends.
Why limit yourself to one state, Gran?
Oh, that was okay, except when the Tasmanian boys decided to visit Australia, and then I used to had a lot of juggling to do there. Anyway, I remember one night when Rod Green, who was the current boyfriend, he was staying in the house, and Stan was on then. That's the big heartthrob.
He was the secretary.
Yeah.
Right.
And we'd been to something. We'd been to a ball at the boat house, was it on the lake? On the, I think it was called the boat house on the Albert Park Lake, and we came home okay, and Stan would say good night. I suppose who was hanging around waiting to see, and Rod wasn't going to go to bed while Stan was still there. That went on for a while. Except my dad, who was always good, and he always kept an eye on things too. He came out and scratched his head and yawned, and got the milk billy out for them. We're getting later than the poor Sam had to go home. Dad was always saw the funniest. He always saw the side of it. And yes, that's right. And anyway, I got this letter from Aunt Lucy to say this Bill Harrison, who was, nearly 10 years older than me and all, he's had a fight with his mother and he's coming over to Victoria. And I know he's very unhappy about having had this fight, and she is too, but their pride such that they won't do anything about it. So would you look him up and see if you can persuade him? Well, it took me 12 months to pick up the phone and ring him, but I did. And then I tried to work. I worked and worked and worked on him, and finally, I don't know what happened. I can't remember now how I decided. Oh, that's right. The war came out, and he was in the thing, and he said, something that could, I think we should get married with them. All right, okay. So then he came to me a couple of days afterwards and said, would it make, because he knew that I'd been paid, would it make you happy if I wrote, this is, a let out for himself, would it make you happy if I wrote and told my mother that I was engaged to you? And I said, jolly well that it would make me more happy than anything you could do. So then he straight me the letter. He didn't write and say, Mother, Mary and I are engaged to be married. The letter when Mary wants me to let you know that we're engaged. Anyway, because I never had any trouble with mother-in-law.
No, obviously.